Yeah, I see the protests have been long overdue. They're supposed to have been joined by now. If you look at the slogan of the union, that an injury to one is an injury to all. And the protest is only language that federal government understand. If you don't show your emotion to the game, they will not understand, they will not listen to you. So it's the only language they understand. In the modern country, in those BB countries, they used to protest for whatever they want, especially labor union. They will tell the government, this is what we want, this is what we need. And so far as the only language, they understand. You need to tell them in a peaceful manner. So that belong. So once I've joined them by now and support at least the agitation of the ASUU, they need it.
According to NLC, the President Muhammadu Buhari gave Minister of Education Malam Adamu 2 weeks to resolve the matter of strike. Would their protest encourage federal government to attend urgently to ASUU demand?
The 2 weeks is too much, because this issue has been long overdue, as I said earlier. Yes, they signed this agreement in 2009 with ASUU. All their emoluments, all their monetization, supposed to pay them by 2009, and yet they are postponing them. Federal government know what they deserve. They know what they want. We can see all our executive and legislature what they are giving them, and see the way they were underpaid. People that they are teaching the people, they are training our children. So the 2 weeks for me is too much for government to at least to resolve the issue. Let the federal government give an authoritative go and do this for the Minister for Education, and they will do it. The 2 weeks is too much for me for them to solve the problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, it's very unfortunate. I don't know how things get to this level. Of course, I don't want to blame the government, and I don't want to blame the ASUU. But of course, I expect that this issue has lingered more than enough. That a way they can, reconcile this issue, at least for the sake of Nigerians, for the sake of the students who have been at home for like 6 years. From my Bible, they said an idle hand is a devil workshop. Those who have been at home now for about 6 months, what do you expect? You're not seeing them involving in all manners of, social vices, kidnapping, terrorism, yahoo, and all manners of things. So I expect, the ASUU to have risen with government. Of course, they have their demand, 2009 agreement, according to them. Look at 2019 now. That's about 13 or 14 years. When was that agreement made? Who made it? I think that should be Yaradua government. And that was the only way we have all boom. We have a lot of money. Then the agreement cannot be implemented. Now that there is no money, ask yourself, what is our debt profile now? How much are we owing? I don't know. I've lost counting. I know we are owing about 45 trillion naira. So how do you expect government to get that money, to pay you? And then they pay us soon. I can assure you, Polytechnic will go on strike. They want to ask for their own. College of Education want to ask for their own. Lawyer will ask for their own. Doctor, nurses, teachers, and all that. So how will government do all these things? And there are all manners of insecurities in the country whereby government is spending money. So I expect that ASUU to reason with government and let them have a roundtable conference whereby they can dialogue and make peace for the sake of Nigerians and the futures of this country. Because any country that toys away with the education system is doomed for life. I hope that will not get to that level.
According to NLC, President Muhammadu Buhari gave Minister of Education Malam Adamu 2 weeks to resolve the matter. Would their protest encourage federal government to attend urgently to ASUU demands?
You can't give what you don't have. Ask me $1 million now. If I don't have, tell you, will I give what I don't have? The government doesn't have that money. That is the reality. They don't have. So the issue of 2 weeks or 2 weeks just to see how they can dance around and reconcile with them and see how the ASUU can reason with the government. 2 weeks or 1 month or 7 months is not the issue. The issue is, can government pay the money? And if the government agree to pay that money today, I can assure you, they go to retrench. They will sack many of the lecturers, and if they sack, they go another strike again. So 2 weeks is not the issue. It's whether they can pay the money. And if they pay ASUU, what about ASUU? What about doctors? What about lawyers? What about unemployed youth? What about those who have been on the street without job? Who will pay them? What about those who doesn't have means of livelihood? Many graduates are doing Okada. Are you aware? Many women have turned to prostitutes just to survive. And ASUU himself, I start to be corrected, many of them they are not sincere. And without due respect, most of them are lazy and indolent. They hardly go to classes to teach. They abscond, as I went you, they collect bribe, they set handout, they slept with some of those female students. So what are they talking about? Many of them they work in private universities. And now you are expecting government to satisfy you 100%. Where would they get the money? So they should listen with government and make a peace so that Nigeria can move forward.
Kudos to NLC in joining ASUU on solidarity protest. Kudos to them. Because the issue of ASUU and federal government has been lingering on for a very long time. And you see, federal government are not serious in doing anything concerning it, because most of them in power, who is supposed to intervene on this issue, their children are not schooling in this country. They are either in the private school in this nation or they are outside abroad schooling. So it's really not telling on them. So it's time for even other unions to join in solidarity with ASUU, to come out and protest, because this is the only way that the government will listen to us. You know, back then in 2020, the youth came out and they protest for federal government to put an end to SARS. At the long run, the SARS was put an end to. So I believe this will also help in putting an end to this ASUU strike that has been lingering on for a very long time. Thank you.